What's better than books going up, Zach?
Books going down.
Yeah.
They're dropping.
Another drop list, so stay tuned.
Do it.
Welcome back, gamers, to another incredible, exciting episode of Comic Gains.
Yeah!
If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Royal Highness, looking very lovely today.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the princess way, wearing all black, so bow down and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Princess
All right.
Black and back in black. There it is.
That works.
Pink
Okay.
and black. I can
All right,
see it.
guys, what are we doing? Are we still going?
We're still going.
We're still going, okay. Spit it out, Zach. What have you got to say?
Can't talk.
All right, so today is Wednesday, guys, and we have an extra special episode. We have a brand new drop list. This is an exciting one. Some good. We found some really cool books that we're dropping that we did not expect. One of them was I really didn't expect. So this is kind of an interesting one. And a couple things to open with you. A friend of ours created their own exclusive, and we were picked some up. So we want to share that with you guys. And another announcement, because today is the day our exclusive drops later on Whatnot. So we're going to share that with you guys again. All right, so before we get into this epic drop list, there's one thing else we'd like to drop. In our stomachs.
It's a frosty beer. It's actually a
That's a
seltzer.
big one.
It's a Vizzy Hard Seltzer, blueberry and pomegranate. It has antioxidant vitamin C in it. Whatever that means. Whatever that's bullshit.
Doctor, I drank all this vitamins to get healthy. When are they going to start making like a Seltzer 40?
A Seltzer 40?
Yeah.
Yeah. We always try to go bigger and better. Bigger homes since the 40s, bigger cars, bigger everything. Bigger distance. We got big
The
energy.
Baconator. More bacon.
More bacon. That's America. Cheers. It's not bad.
You taste the vitamins?
It's gluten free.
Oh, good. I was worried.
I was
worried you were going to have a reaction.
Oh no. Alright, let's get into
This
it.
is corner store great. Let's get into the drop list. All right, guys. So, if you are new to the drop list, every week the Gains crew scours the internet for hot lists and trending lists from a year ago, and we try to figure out which books are now on the low from a year ago. And it takes a lot, because sometimes you're looking up like hot lists from a year ago, and sometimes books on that list are still hot or hotter than they were a year ago. But every once in a while you can find some good deals and things that have dropped. And we'll kind of give you an idea of whether or not this is a good time to pick up a book because it's been dropped, or whether it's a good idea to forget you ever heard of this book.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is the case.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. We'll kick it off right. So starting out here, we have our first book, and this is a book I really wish I owned, and we don't have a copy of this, but this is Marvel Spotlight 32, which is one of my favorite runs from 1977. The creative group on this is Gil Kane and Archie Goodwin, and this is first appearance of Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew. It's also first appearance of Otto Vermis, which I'm not quite sure which character this is, but it is also first appearance of that. So, big announcement with this one is in June 2021, they did announce that Issa Rae from the HBO show Insecure is going to be voicing this character in the Into the Spider-Verse 2 movie, so they did announce that was going to happen. It's also around this time when they announced that there's going to be a Spider-Woman movie in the works. We know now that it's not going to be a Jessica Drew movie. It's for some reason is going to be a Madam Web movie. But it caused a lot of hype around all the female spider characters, and she was one of the ones that was getting crazy. So it's just a cool book. I know I wish I had this book, so it might be a good time to buy it if it's dropped a little bit. But Zach will give you the exact numbers on it.
So sales a year ago was $4,475 for a CGC 9.8. Pretty high. Now $3,223.
It's expensive still.
Yeah, but
I
it's
didn't realize it was that expensive.
gone down $1,200. That sucks. Range $3,223 to $4,499. It's actually at the low right now. Average is $3,957.00. I would get this book raw. Getting a 9.8 is getting to the point where it's unaffordable.
Yeah, that's a lot
for
of
a
money.
lot of people,
Yeah.
me included.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I scrounge up all my stuff together, all the extra
Look
stuff.
through all the couch cushions and find all the loose
Yeah,
change.
you can't touch your investments, but you can sell a few things you don't need. But yeah, pretty expensive. It will go. It will be a blue chip book. It will be a hot book. It might be a little bit of a ways. It's kind of a weird cover, but also kind of a cool cover.
It's got her original design where she didn't have the hair. It's like hidden underneath, which wasn't that cool.
Her with the hair is much better. I would get this raw. Honestly, if you want to buy it graded, you want to get the 9.8. But if you don't, get raw, put it in a top loader, save it for a rainy occasion, because that might be your retirement, part of your retirement fund.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And you never know if she shows up. Well, she will show up in Into the Spider-Verse 2, and she's a really cool character, and people get behind that. I mean, that's obviously projected some pretty huge characters, you know. Miles, I don't think, would be where he is today without the original movie. So,
No.
So a lot of times characters go down. Seems like with Into the Spider-Verse, characters go up after the movie, which is kind of crazy, you know. A lot of these young people don't really know who Jessica Drew is.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, all these kids might be like, whoa, this is a really cool Spider-Woman character. I've never seen her before. Even though she's been around this whole time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy going to go up for the next 6 decades.
Yeah. Cool book. I always keep running across Spider-Woman 1 and not Marvel Spotlight 32. Both good books, but...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next up on the list, we got, you know, it wouldn't be a drop list if we didn't have some DC goodness on here. Yeah, this is the big surprise, too. I did not... We saw this on a trending list, and I was like, there's no way this book went down, and it did. But Sandman number 8... from DC/Vertigo from 1989. This is done by Neil Gaiman and Dave McKean. First appearance of Death / Dream. Death, which is Dream's sister. So, obviously a really cool book. I think this is Zach's favorite book from the Sandman series. He obviously has one in a 9.8, so he's near and dear to his heart.
Mm-hmm.
This was getting pretty big. I think in March of 2021, they announced that Kirby Howell-Baptiste from Killing Eve and a number of other things is going to be doing this character in the TV show for the Sandman coming out, which is pretty exciting. Zach loves Killing Eve. I haven't seen it, but he loves that show and said that she's a pretty great actress, so pretty excited to see that as well. I know around this time, a lot of the teaser trailers started happening for Sandman, so that's probably why this book was spiking. I was kind of surprised it dropped, a little bit. I would have thought, the big previews are coming out right now. I would have thought it would have gone up even further, but it's hard to say if they, if people appreciate how she's portrayed or not. But more importantly, Zach, what's going on with this book?
So, sales a year ago was $1,625. Now it's $1,439. The low was $1,125 to $1,625. The average is $1,346.28. When I bought this book, which was a little bit more than a couple of years ago, I paid $400. That was a really good deal. Now it's $1,600. It's up $1,200 in a short period of time. I mean, I would think this book is going to continue going up. It might hit a point where it slows down, but it's definitely going back up to the $1,600 for a 9.8. I'd get this raw, get it graded. Get it graded. If you wanted to buy a raw copy to get graded in the long term, you want to get at least a 9.6 or 9.8. With that black cover, it'd be pretty tough. So if you want a 9.6 or 9.8 graded CGC, just buy it. Or get really lucky and send in a couple copies. But I would at least get one copy raw. They're actually pretty affordable raw. $100, $200.
Yeah.
And not bad.
I was surprised. It didn't drop too much, but a little bit more. I'm surprised it didn't just keep rising.
Yeah.
And she's been a character like outside of the Sandman universe too. Like obviously she has a regular appearance in continuity. So yeah.
And keep an eye out for the editorial version. Same book basically, except on the inside cover it says it's a letter from the editor that talks about stuff. I don't have it. I don't know anybody that's ever had it, but it's worth about 10 times the amount.
I'll keep an eye out for it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Next up on the list, and for some reason we don't have this book. I feel like we should have this, but yeah, I thought we had this. But you have Thor number 6. This is the second print, guys, from 2020. This cover's done by Nick Klein, and the story is Donny Cates. So this is the variant second print, which actually shows Thanos wearing the big, the black gauntlet, which I think actually they show Thane wearing it. I think inside the book, but
it doesn't look great.
This is like one of those kind of random things Donny Cates does where he kind of gives you a little glimpse and everyone's like, what does this mean? Like, you don't know what's going on. He doesn't really elaborate on this any further other than that, like, it's going to have something to do with something in the future. And when they show this stuff, people are like, oh, this is so cool, and then it kind of dies down a little bit, and then they show it again in the Timeless book when it came out. They showed the Gauntlet again, and still to this day, nothing has happened with it. We're assuming it's going to, obviously, because Cates has got a lot of pull with a lot of different books, and he can make some things happen. But because nothing's happened in a little while, Timeless came out like what, 4 or 5 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the last thing we've heard about. It has dropped because people forgot about it. So I don't know. Might be one of those things you want to pick up. It's kind of those weird things where Second Prince have the first showing on it, but it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on in the book. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Zach, what do you think?
In my personal opinion, the book's dropped. Anyways, prices a year ago, $79.99 to $49.99. $27 was the low, which steal for 9.8.
For 9.8?
Yeah,
that's
someone made a mistake. To $137.52. Average is $66.42. If you want to get a raw copy, get a raw copy. If you want to get a graded copy, get a graded copy. But personally, for me, unless someone just gives me one, I'm just going to run away from this book.
Yeah, I'm not looking for it. The other weird thing, too, is Thor 6 isn't even a key, really. It's like Death of Galactus. I don't think it has any other significance. Like, the regular book itself doesn't have any major significance to it, so...
And you know how cut books are like. They're death of one issue, and then next issue, they're live.
No, that never happens.
They're
always dead permanently.
There's only like one guy that's been dead permanently, and they're eventually going to bring him back. Captain Marvel, the original one.
Rest in peace, Captain Marvel.
They'll eventually bring it back, I'm telling you.
All right, okay. Next up on the list, and this is a book near and dear to my heart. I'm specking hard on this, and I was disappointed that it's on the drop list. I have a couple copies of this. I think I got them on the cheap, though, so it's not too bad. But you have Venom First Host, number 3 from 2018. This is a Mark Bagley cover. Mike Costa did the writing on this book. But you have first appearance of Sleeper, an offspring of the Venom symbiote in the book. And this has kind of been like back and forth on this book getting hot, not getting hot. I mean, like, they're still using Sleeper even in the Venom run today. Mm-hmm. They had some other stuff where like Dylan was gonna wear Sleeper, and I think Venom actually wears Sleeper in this story, and then now he's still going forward. But I don't know. They acted like he's gonna be like this big deal, and then it kind of goes back down. Then he's gonna be this big deal, and then he comes back down. Reading him, I like the character, so I feel like they're gonna do something with him, mm-hmm. and he's really cool. So it's hard to say. I would definitely invest in it because I like this one. But if you haven't read this story, I like it. It's cool because they actually have Eddie looking like old Eddie, like 90s Eddie, instead of like Eddie from the Cates run where he's much smaller, which I thought that was kind of cool to do that, even though they came out pretty similar in time. But there is also a Walmart variant book, which is pretty rare, so keep an eye out for that one, which has Sleeper on the cover. And the number 1 from this story is actually getting some heat as well, which has the first appearance of Tel-Kar, who is actually the first host. It's kind of weird the way they do that. So he's the one that actually has the Venom host before Eddie when they're like training with it. So he's actually the reason why they call it the first host. Which he is, I think, Kree. So it could be something that comes up in the movies later on, because they're introducing a lot more Kree characters.
Oh, absolutely.
So it could be something. And it might be a way to introduce Venom in the story. But more importantly, Zach, how much does this book drop? Is it still a sleeper?
Well, prices a year ago was $128.50. Now it's $109. Not too crazy of a drop. Like, what, 20%?
Yeah.
About 20%. Mm-hmm. Low was $52. To the high was $250. Average is $133.23. There's no reason not to get this book. Get it raw, get it graded. I mean, if it doesn't happen, oh well. You're probably going to be able to sell for what you bought it for. If something does happen, you'll be like, thank God I've got this.
True.
book.
Yeah. I mean, you're only spending maybe, $20 on the high right now. If you're, you can still find it for 20. Yeah. If you're getting a raw one, but yeah, get a graded one for $100.
And eventually they're going to bring in more symbiotes into the MCU or whatever the Venom universe, whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. And this is a perfect character because you want to bring in more characters that you're not just going to kill off after one movie.
True.
Which, I always hate when they do that sometimes, especially with the villains. You can use the villains so much more if you just didn't kill them off. Or at least make it look like they got killed off, but like still the question, did he die? Did he?
Yeah. If you're specking on Dylan, you should be specking on Sleeper. They kind of go together. And I like that he turns into a little cat and like hangs out. kind of like a pet. It's cool.
Eevee.
It's definitely cool. All right, we have one more book for you guys on the drop list, and another DC book graces our list. We have Superman #4, DC Comics, 1987. I always forget that it's like a decently older book. We have a John Byrne cover and story, two-timing on this book. First appearance of Bloodsport, who is obviously played by Idris Elba in the last Suicide Squad movie, which he did an awesome job. And it's also a first appearance of Maggie Sawyer, who is DC's first openly gay character in their comic book story. So kind of a double key issue on this one as well. But interesting book. I mean, it's a badass cover for one. It's super cool looking. I love this cover. They even homaged it. It's so cool. You know, with that other character, the female version character. But I don't know. It's an interesting one for me. Obviously, we all know that books spike before a movie comes out when they're like, hey, Bloodsport's going to be in this movie. The book's going to go up a bunch. But it's interesting to me when the movie's successful and the character and the actor does it justice. Like, I thought he was really cool in the movie and did a good job. And everyone agrees it's a pretty awesome movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it went that far down low. You know, I would have thought it would have like leveled off and been, okay, this is a pretty good key going forward. You know, it's not going to have that same hype, but it dropped like almost back to where it was before the movie, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't know if that's just a DC thing or what.
Right.
You know, but Zach will give you more information on how far it dropped back down.
So this was pretty devastating.
Yeah.
So prices a year ago was $195. Now it's $99.99. Dropped in half. The high was, I think I have this reversed. The high was $375. The low was $99.99. It's at the low right now for CGC 9.8. The average is $181.53. It's one of those things with DC. If it's a pretty cool character, it goes and, you know, drops right after the movie. It's a really amazing character. It stays pretty level. Maybe drops a little bit, like Harley Quinn. Yeah, or Batman, or this, or that. I mean, those are two different extremes.
Yeah.
But
Batman went down a little bit. I felt last Batman.
like, maybe like $10,000, but it's still worth millions.
Yeah.
But yeah, this book is just right underneath that. It's a very cool character, but it's like not super cool because you can't do it with this, that. I mean, it has a certain time limit where this character is gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna get rid of him. Are we gonna put him in another Suicide Squad movie? Is it gonna be the head of a new TV show?
I don't know. Out of all the people, he's one of the ones that didn't die either. Like, he's like still alive. It's like, you know, it's weird to me that it dropped that low.
I mean, how many Suicide movies are they gonna do? And is he gonna be in all of them? I mean, he's a very limited character. Great character, great actor, great everything.
Oh yeah.
Price wise for the 9.8, I mean, if you love this character, or even if you like this character, $100 for 9.8. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's hard to say if it's gonna go
it.
anywhere, but yeah, if you like the cover, you might as well get a 9.8 of it, right? For $100.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably, you can't really spend your $100 more reasonable than this.
They were like going for more than 50 for like a cruddy copy for a while. You know, you're like, oh man, I got one. You know.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
All right, that concludes the drop list for this week. As you can see, we had a few books on the drop list, you know, actually multiple copies of some of the books that are on the drop list. But that happens to all of us, so let's get into some more goodness here. So let's talk exclusives. So our good and dear friend DJ Lynx, I believe this is his first exclusive, right? Yeah. So DJ Lynx put out his first exclusive, and Princess picked up a couple copies of it. I actually haven't seen this yet, so this is really exciting. We get to show you guys DJ Lynx. So if you guys are unfamiliar with DJ Lynx, he has a YouTube channel as well. Make sure we'll link him down below so you guys can sub him up and check out his channel. He does even more unboxings than we do and does a really good job on his reviews and stuff like that and gives a really honest opinion of what he's got going on. And yeah, he has a really good show. It's done really, really well. So,
Very fun.
oh, this is
Let's
dope.
see what we got. Yeah, pull tabs. Like it.
Okay. Okay.
Zach likes the pull tabs.
Ooh, okay.
Is it all the same cover?
Yeah, I think she got two of the same one. We got a little bit of a bent action here.
Oh no.
Let's
Well, at
see.
least it's not on the spine.
I don't see any damage maybe to the book, but so it's Hail Crow King of Hell from Uranium Age Comics, and And the cover is actually done by Illis Illuminati, so a friend of the show as well. So Prince will show you. It looks like the Gemini got us on these ones. Normally the Geminis are like uncrushable, but these got pretty crushed. So Princess looks a little
unhappy. You know? Oh,
not your fault, DJ Links.
not your fault.
Not your fault. Dun dun dun. But awesome cover. Awesome cover. I like the record. Oh, it's like almost kind of like a gold record. You know, like if you get to like what is it? You know,
like you get like YouTube, you get like 1 million.
well, more along the lines of like of sing artist. You
like
know?
you sell 1,000 or 10,000 million records, you get a gold record. 10 million is probably platinum.
Yeah, cool cover though. Cool cover.
Or, I don't know how many you have to sell to get platinum. That's platinum, baby.
All right. So check him out, DJ Links. I don't know if he has any more still available to sell. So if he does, check him out so you guys can pick one up. It's just awesome. It's like two of our friends in the community collaborating to create an exclusive together. So you're kind of helping out both of them. Okay. Last thing before you go. Today is Wednesday, and Princess's show on Whatnot is happening today at 9 p.m. today, and our exclusive Draculina #4 from Dynamite Comics is going to be available for sale today on the show. So $25 a pop. You can help support the channel by doing this as well, as it's also a pretty awesome cover. And you can see me and Zach getting smushed down there at the bottom. Princess looking beautiful as always. And Draculina right there in the middle, star of the show. Like Zach said, if for some reason you have any issues getting on Whatnot, we don't want to force anyone to get on Whatnot for, if you don't want to be on there. Just message Princess through IG. We already had a couple people that let us know that they really want to get the cover, but they don't have a way to get on Whatnot. And we'll definitely find a way to accommodate you guys. Some people have asked us to sign them as well. We'll definitely give that a shot.
Give it a shot.
We'll try to do that,
if you do that, get 2 copies, one signed and unsigned.
That might be a good idea. Yeah, but it is limited to 500 copies. So there is plans. We're having some sent out to CGC, so that will cut back on some of that 500. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think there should be plenty for all of our friends and fans out there. Yeah, as usual, guys, if you like the show, love the show, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down. Leave a comment down below. Let us know if you're going to hang out with us on Whatnot. Yeah, and Zach, you got anything else?
Oh, yeah, sure. How do you do that? Is you have to be like a surfer. You have to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take that wild wave, bruh. Why not? But you're also pretty smart. But you've been surfing in bad areas, with radioactive fallout, and eventually something that shouldn't happen to you, something bad should happen to you. But actually something good happens to you. You become the Hulk. Totally awesome Hulk, bro. Catch that wild wave. Yeah.
Nice.
Totally awesome Hulk. Amadeus show. I don't know if that's his origin story, but it could be.
It's a multiverse, dude.
It's an alternate universe.
Yeah, you can't get angry about it.
Amadeus show. Can't be mad.
Unlimited universes.
Unlimited power.
Anything could happen.
Could happen.
All right, guys. Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember.
Get those totally awesome games.
Get 'em.